Hey, I got more for y'all about cortisol. Cortisol, did you know, causes diabetes, high blood pressure, and either bipolar disorder or either anxiety and or depression. Why? So, as I talked to y'all before about cortisol and progesterone being catabolic to your muscles, what it also does is, what y'all don't understand is, and I've said this many times before, is that diabetes is not a sugar issue. Diabetes is a storage issue. So what that means is that when you have too much energy being pushed into your muscles, where your muscles can no longer contain glycogen and triglycerides inside of the muscle, basically the insulin tries to force more inside of your muscles, where what ends up happening is that in fact you will end up being insulin resistant, which is the definition of type 2 diabetes, correct? So what happens is that by you having too much cortisol in your system, your body will then break down said muscle, which is the storage unit of your glycogen. Therefore, you will then end up being a diabetic. Now, going on into depression and into anxiety. Now, I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not even going to get into the details of that, but just know and understand that as you constantly are being put under massive amounts of stress, your body will then decide to either break down hormonally or to ramp it up hormonally, meaning that your body will stop producing cortisol, or your body will produce so much cortisol that your body doesn't know what to do with it. Now, as a direct result of that, there are some benefits to cortisol, like it being an anti-inflammatory hormone, and also regulating your blood sugar in the way where if there's too little blood sugar in your system, cortisol will then turn around and try to find other sources of energy through terminology we've used before called gluconeogenesis, and try to utilize those forms of energy rather than allow you to waste away the last remaining portions of your blood sugar that exist. So cortisol has a good role, especially when you're depleting yourselves of too much glucose. However, if you are doing it the right way and the correct way, you should never run out of glucose when you're training, and you should never run out of glucose in your everyday living if you are eating correctly and making sure that you have the right amount of carbohydrates in your system during your moments of training. Now, last but not least, you have to understand that putting yourselves in these very high stressful positions, your lifestyle may be the very thing that is causing you all of your health problems. Like, for instance, if you are living in a high stressful environment, or you work in a high stressful environment, everything that you think of and everything that you do then therefore causes your cortisol levels to rise. Therefore, your body is feeding off of itself. I remember if you go back to my YouTube channel, if you go back to my Facebook page, you'll actually see me mention on numerous occasions about how diabetes is a catabolic disease. It is a disease that forces you to eat your muscles out, eat yourself from the inside out, and therefore that's how you break down and therefore you die. Now, this further confirms that cortisol plays its role in your diabetic status, which also plays a role in your status of losing muscle, with therefore losing on your metabolism. Now, managing your stress, eating the right carbohydrates, and or eating your sugar, yes, your sugar, in a intelligent manner, meaning that you are not just eating sugar for the sake of eating sugar, but you're actually using it to recover from your workouts, or in fact to get through your workouts. If you are in fact, and when I say get through your workouts, I don't mean just downing a whole bunch of sugar and then just calling it a day, but I'm talking about implementing the right amount of sugar inside of your diet, so that way your cortisol levels do not shoot up, therefore destroying the muscles that you're steadily trying to build to further burn more fat, right? Because that is the body you're meant to be in, not the other. So the battle is against not to be in this ripped washboard abs situation, but to necessarily be in the best body fat percentage ratio that you are supposed to be in. And whatever that looks like when it's all said and done, you are in fact the best you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. All right? Peace out.